Gemini, this month in September, you are going to take that leap of faith and take that chance. So don't spend too much time psyching yourself out about something you're going to do anyway. Before we get into your reading for the month of September, and we will look at these cards together, pull more to clarify, I'll just take you back to the last couple of weeks in August. I want to just refresh how we got there. Money matters seem to have been at the forefront of your mind for the last part of August coming into September in a pretty advantageous way, I think. It seems like you have been maybe making investments that have paid off very well. Maybe you've been given some sort of aid or support, or some sort of resources have come through for you recently where you're very much able to build upon what you already have financially, or just like estate wise. Some of you are making really good investments, and from these very successful investments and returns, a lot of you have been getting good return now. So it could have been like a pay rise at work, some sort of some sort of a gain financially based on kind of like maybe what you've already invested in, or shared resources with people, or you got some sort of an influx somehow, and from that you've been able to kind of make some decisions around what you're going to do next with this money. Will you reinvest? Will you do this? Will you distribute your wealth here? Will you take a chance kind of investing in yourself? This could look like a course. This could look like, just putting money aside so that you're able to take this trip, and, you're a photographer or something. Some of you are involved with sort of family business or some very successful enterprise that has already brought you a lot of wealth, I think. Okay, let's see. We're going to clear up these cards and go even deeper into them, but let's see for the month of September. The only major arcana card that has come through in our reading so far is the Fool card. So I know the energy of your month ahead is a brand new beginning, a fresh start. You might be launching something, you might be putting something out into the world for the first time, you might be relocating, you might just be speaking your goddamn truths, but overall it seems like there's something that you are going to motion forward with, and you have the means to step forward with this. You're feeling this prosperity that has been abound since the month of August. That's all it really is. It's given you confidence, or it's given you the sense of stability, but it's much more than just getting by. You seem to have found a means, Gemini, to like bring you in a lot of wealth actually, and it might like play out over the course of a longer time even. So there's a lot of prosperity that's been happening, and now in the month of September you're very much ready to take this chance. Things seem in alignment for you. You do seem to be psyching yourself out about it before you ultimately take the leap, so just trust in it. It seems because the major arcana cards are a little bit more fixed, and then nothing is fixed. We create our future in our present moment, and we're always just creating that consciously. So it looks like it could happen that you do kind of start out something, or do something for the first time, or bring something about for the first time in an exciting way this month, but you spend a lot of time maybe worrying about what other people's perceptions of this would be. Will it cause any strife? Will it cause any issues for you in your personal life? Will it affect other people perhaps? And maybe this is just kind of like, sitting up at night kind of saying like, oh, what if this goes wrong? This could go wrong. Oh, they're not going to be happy. The reason I think there's somebody that's kind of not going to be happy with it, but is the Three of Swords is coming up with the King of Swords at the end of the month. So September going into October, we will have a Mercury retrograde in Libra. This is Saturn in Libra here. So things that could come up are of a communicative nature that might be disruptive or unpleasant. Crossed wires could occur that result in some sort of a painful disclosure, or crossed wires could happen and somebody's feelings get hurt because something is taken the wrong way. The thing about a Mercury retrograde, it affects the collective, so we don't only have to worry about our own errors and miscommunication. Everybody else is experiencing the same, so it can be a mess. But it seems like by the end of the month you're conscious, or you will be conscious about hurting somebody with the decision that you've made. But your decision, to me, Gemini, looks pretty final. You could be making a decision around another air sign like a Gemini or a Libra, or in an Aquarius even, but it seems like you can't keep everybody happy is the main thing. It seems like you're going to persevere and overcome whatever challenges you face at the end of the month, and you have something backing you, like you kind of know as much as you can, you feel it that you're right on this, like you feel that that you wouldn't want to back down, and you're not really second guessing yourself. But maybe are you taking accountability for how you communicate, Gemini? Sometimes it can just be pretty blunt or hurtful, and it might just be unnecessary for it to be this way. But you can still be very firm and resolute and like sure of what you're doing, and you don't have to mince your words by any means, and you don't have to fluff your words. The King of Swords they're not really a very fluffy character now. Not like a big hug embrace, but you just stick to the point, stick to what you need to say, get your message across clearly, and be final with it. It says like we're swift with our decision here, and we are stern and grounded in it, I think. Okay, I think we should look at these cards together and pull more to clarify. Before pulling more cards to clear this reading up, Gemini, I'm going to just ground it again with the message from the Kuan Yin Chinese goddess oracle of kind of the Chinese goddess of compassion. So let's read a card for you and see how this reflects for you on your journey at the moment. All right, so it's going to be the Book of Changes. Okay, so let me read you a bit about this. Just like a beautiful but unusual melody, the divine path is unfolding through your life, although it isn't always predictable. Kuan Yin is guiding you in the right direction, even if you do not fully understand what is happening in your life right now. Allow Kuan Yin to bless you with the truth and the unfoldment of your own divine path. The Book of Changes is always at play, helping us find our way. You are just taking a smarter route to your destination. Okay, so just like an experienced guide on a mountaintop, Kuan Yin has traversed the spiritual path over many lifetimes to arrive at her compassionate and enlightened state. She is very wise, and she is blessing you with her grace, even if that grace seems to be a dark cloud, a delay, an unexpected disappointment, or even a wonderful new opportunity in a different direction. That's what could be happening this month, Gemini. She can help you avoid pitfalls so that you do not need to encounter your trust in her guidance. She can read the Book of Changes and understand the divine plan unfolding through you to help lift you on your divine path with the least amount of struggle. Ooh, okay, I love that. So this might be a change in direction for you, and that's why there is a lot of nervous excitement. These two cards together is a lot of jittery, nervous energy. But it's really saying, be bold, Gemini. Fortune favors the bold, or is it the brave? But together these cards are a very courageous individual that is not afraid to take a chance. So let's keep going with the tarot, and we'll look back at our Six of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and Two of Pentacles, and see how we're clearing it up for you, Gemini. Six of Wands. This has been very successful, and wow, beautiful energy. The Star card. Okay, so some of you, and Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. For some of you, this inheritance or windfall was really enormous, and it was like a lot, and that's probably quite substantial for you. And there's been some sort of money or resource or opportunity that you can really see being very fruitful at this, like in the last couple of weeks of August. Even you've been going into September with this uplifted sense of security, of longevity, of success, and then recognition. Now we have two sixes here, which is a nice the number of harmony here. So you're feeling very much in alignment now, and the opportunities that are coming up for you, Gemini, and have been coming up for you, do seem very much in alignment and seem like they would be leading you on a path of success, very much on a route towards recognition, acclaim, totally feeling like the past perceived mistakes or failures in your career or with money, or your shortcomings or any woundings that you have around scarcity or unworthiness seem to be been able to heal through your life experience, through this sense of sort of attainment or getting what is deserved to you. It seems like with the Star and the Six of Pentacles, something might have been owed to you karmically that has been able to wash away a lot of your financial worries, perhaps. which would be great, so that you're just in a kind of feeling like you're in a safer space to take things in a new direction. So maybe the Book of Changes, it's talking about the Fool card, is ruled by the sign of Uranus. I have very strong Aquarian energy coming up in this reading. You could be dealing with an Aquarius right now, and if you are, they're an intrinsic part of your past, your present, your future right now. And for some of you, it's a real blessing to have this Aquarian in your life. But this Aquarian energy is linked because the Fool card is Uranus, the planet of unpredictability. And I know our Oracle card said sometimes this route to your divine path doesn't seem like it's the most predictable. Okay, so let's keep going. 9 of Swords, 2 of Wands, and the Fool card. Something that's pretty radical, like you might be doing something that's a bit outside the norm. You might be going against the grain. You might be surprising yourself. You might be kind of worried though, I think, about how people are perceiving you now, especially if they think, oh my gosh, they've lost their mind, Gemini. 5 of Cups. I guess this would be a message not to dwell on things that have disappointed you around this before. Or maybe you are still very worried about, for some reason, this new beginning of yours takes away from a relationship that you had with someone, and it's linked to this dark cloud, 3 of Swords, like the Oracle card even mentioned. It's linked to this, you're worried about these upsetting things coming to the surface around what you're doing, maybe. Okay, but I'm going to clear these up. That was just that card came out as a message for somebody. So I hope you got that. Hierophant, card for Taurus. 5 of Swords, a lot more Aquarian energy with the 5 and 6 of Swords here. So that's a strong sign that's coming through. It could be a Taurus either, but if you're dealing with one of those people, they could be involved in this new endeavor with you. Overall, though, it seems like what you are doing defies conventional norms. The Hierophant being super conventional. 5 of Swords really is kind of putting a spanner in the works, and sometimes it can be just like being contrary. So like arguing for the sake of arguing, like just to be individual or just for the shock factor. So you could be doing something right now, Gemini, that does have a shock factor included, and that could be a really positive thing, like something that's kind of innovative and something people haven't seen before. So you might be doing something that's a little bit out there in your in terms of how you usually would do things. What else can I say about this? I get the sense like you hold yourself back from this opportunity this month, or from this new beginning, or just releasing, letting it go, launching it, doing it, moving, whatever you're just ready to do that denotes a new chapter in your life or a new big cycle. It's because there's a lot of fear of judgment here. There's a lot of fear of failure here. The 9 of Swords is the fear of judgment, that what will people think of me, especially more conservative people or parents, or if you're part of a religion, like what will the church think, or it's whatever you're a part of, and what will my teachers think, what will my mentors think, what will the people who I look up to think of me. And you might just say, like, I'm also very afraid to mess up. The 5 of Swords is a card of self-sabotage, and when we kind of like get very much stuck, it's linked to the 9 of Swords, into the kind of frame of mind of going over and over these mistakes, and that holds us back from taking the leap. It seems like, especially if you're doing something that's very, like, you've had to study a lot for, that you've had to do a lot of learning, gain a lot of wisdom firsthand as well, like experience with it. You've had to take it a little bit further, or you're just about to take it further. That's what I think, actually. The Fool card is the experience. The Hierophant is the kind of reading of the book and the doctrine, and then you haven't really put it into practice yet. It's just gospel, basically. You're still reading the words, but now it looks like you're going to take something further, and that's the next step, the actual release. don't psych yourself out, because the Fool card is still very strongly manifesting, and the Hierophant, another major arcana card. You know your stuff on this. You're aware, you've learned, you've definitely done the groundwork then, and you can be confident in your intellect on this. You can be confident on your level of expertise on this. You may encounter a delay as the Mercury retrograde gets underway around the 27th of September. So if there is something that is better to release beforehand, it is very wise. I'm not fatalistic about astrology, but if there is something that you don't have to launch or undertake for the first time, or something that involves a lot of communication from you and other people, try to avoid doing it during the Mercury retrograde, which begins on September 27th for 3 weeks. So if you are interested in astrology for your month ahead, Gemini, for your personalized astrology, I do have a video over on my YouTube. It's called All Signs Virgo Season Astrology, and I read astrology for greater accuracy via the rising sign position. So if you know your rising sign, go over and check it out. Even if you don't, rising signs are really easy to find online. You just kind of search it into a browser, or type it into a browser, and it will feed you the prompt and then just generate your answer. It's super easy. So now we're going to look at what you're facing at the end of the month. 3 of Swords, King of Swords, 7 of Wands. What's that gonna look like? The Page of Wands in reverse, communication in reverse, Mercury retrograde, and the 3 of Wands. Okay, so let's be mindful of this. Something that you feel like it was toxic may be something that is exposed in the 3 of Swords. It could be something unhealthy in the workspace. It could be even an element of all these opportunities. Like, now I don't want to taint this August you've had, it's been beautiful, but as the month goes on, you look at the gains financially and the opportunities of how they were created, and something about it you just question, or you just kind of, and it won't taint it, but you might see something about it revealed to you that strikes you as something that is serious, or something that is like unmovable and kind of difficult to work with for whatever reason, but you persevere. You might even try and confront people about said experience or disclosure. You may not want to give up on it, and you know, you may kind of even get very impatient with them and like demanding of them, because you know you can't you need an answer. Okay, so let's see. I want to just break this down for a second. Either way, the 2 of Wands becomes the 3 of Wands. We end the reading with the 3 of Wands. These are the most important cards really for me, because it's just, you're going to take the chance, and you got to be bold and courageous this month, and I know you can muster that up, Gemini, because now is the time. So that's important to see, that we do actually do it. We make the moves. We do the thing we have to do. We bring it out to the world. 3 is the number of creation in the tarot. So birthing something, it gets itself out there by October. Look into the Mercury retrograde if it's something that's speaking to you. It isn't the best time to or it is, you can never not have to do something for sure, but just be mindful at least that if you do undertake something for the first time, or something that involves communication with an important person like a boss, or like with the world, or if you know you public speak, that things are open to miscommunications, and technology can be disrupted, very much so. So like, you know, launching a website wouldn't be a very good idea during the Mercury retrograde if it can be avoided. It's a great time though. The flip side and the upside of that is just that awesome time for editing and saving ourselves having to revisit things in the future, which can come up when we do that during a Mercury retrograde. Okay, so you make the move, you do the thing, you have the adventure. Life, you start to think life is an adventure. I've said the worst of what I need to say, and you know what? It was almost like that band-aid been pulling off. At the end of the month, you said, right, I've spoken my truth, I've been firm on my decision, I'm standing my ground on it, and now it's a load off my shoulders. I can be a little bit more silly, more carefree, not too carefree, because you know you've still got plans to chase down. But the Page of Wands says, look, take a little bit of a break before your next push forward, because that took a lot out of you. You've been psyching yourself up for something to go wrong with this, and when it didn't go wrong, or when it actually just, you know, the painful truth of it really did have to come about, maybe you'll feel, but afterwards it's like, I can breathe. That just feels so much better now. Okay, let's see. This is interesting too. I think this is I haven't seen this before, but okay, so this looks like the same wand that has been held in both hands, and these mountains seem very much more surmountable. They just look like a little hill now. So the challenges that you had built up in your mind, basically, that you were going to have to face opposition from this person. This person was going to tear you down. They were going to tell you that your project was shite. They're going to say to you, like, you know, oh, I'm going to beat you. So you had all these oppositions in your mind. Even maybe you did have a lot in reality too. And once the worst of it was over and you spoke your truth, or you like stood your ground and did what you had to do, and it comes at the cost for some about letting people down here, now you can relax a bit more and focus on the future. Awesome, Gemini. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll be back very soon this coming week with some love readings.